Number 1. Taboos in Vietnam. Never make the lucky finger gesture when visiting Vietnam if you don't want to be met with confused looks. In many countries, this gesture symbolizes good wishes. However, in Vietnam, it is interpreted in a rather sensitive way, relating to female genitalia. Therefore, if you want to wish a Vietnamese person good luck, the safest way is to say it directly. It's polite and avoids misunderstandings. When it comes to dining, Vietnamese people pay special attention to the use of chopsticks. Sticking chopsticks upright into a bowl of rice is a major taboo, as this image evokes the rice bowl used in funerals, reserved for the deceased. Pointing chopsticks directly at someone else is also considered impolite and can easily draw a reprimand. Even the act of tapping chopsticks on a bowl is frowned upon, as it is believed to summon hungry ghosts. For Vietnamese people, using chopsticks correctly is not only a matter of etiquette, but also a sign of respect for the meal and those sharing the table. During the Lunar New Year, the most important time of the year, superstitions are taken even more seriously. Vietnamese people believe that the first days of the year will affect their fortune for the entire year, so almost everything is to be avoided. If the first person to enter a house does not match the homeowner's zodiac sign, many believe it is an omen of bad luck. During the 3 days of Tet, sweeping the house is also limited, as they fear it will sweep away wealth and good fortune. Attire during this time is also given great attention. The color black is often seen as unlucky, while white is associated with funerals, so most people avoid wearing these colors during Tet. Vietnamese people believe that if something unfortunate happens at the beginning of the year, the rest of the year will also be difficult. When visiting a Vietnamese home, remember to take off your shoes before entering. Many foreigners are accustomed to wearing shoes indoors, but in Vietnam, this action is seen as dirtying the living space. Even in modern apartments in the city, this habit remains quite common. Even if the host says you can go in, it is mostly just polite conversation. It's best to take off your shoes outside. Finally, if you plan to visit sacred places like temples or the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, dress neatly and modestly. Wearing shorts or sleeveless shirts in these places is often considered disrespectful and may draw a reminder. Just bringing a light jacket or shawl is enough to show the necessary courtesy. Comment 2 if you find these things interesting and want to learn more about other unique taboos in Vietnam. Number 2. Interesting facts about Vietnamese people. The Vietnamese online community is often regarded as one of the most unpredictable forces on the internet. While this may not necessarily be a point of pride, it is certainly enough to earn the respect and even caution of many foreigners who might inadvertently cross paths with them. In Vietnam, such individuals are commonly referred to as keyboard warriors. This term is used in a mocking sense to describe those who hide behind screens, eager to voice strong opinions, engage in fierce debates, or make loud comments about matters that do not directly concern them, merely to showcase themselves. Encountering a keyboard warrior is not difficult at all. Just scroll through a large Facebook page or a bustling forum, and you will see them everywhere. For instance, after a football match with a controversial incident, if the referee makes a wrong call or a player behaves poorly, a wave of comments from the Vietnamese online community will flood in immediately. In mild cases, the targeted individual may have to temporarily deactivate their account. In more severe cases, they may disappear entirely from social media. Because of this, many foreigners share the advice that it's best to avoid engaging with Vietnamese netizens. This formidable nature is not confined to the internet. In real life, Vietnamese people are also known for their curiosity. Whenever an unusual event occurs, such as an accident, a fire, or simply a crowd gathering, many people will quickly flock to see what's happening. For example, if someone stands on a bridge looking down at a river, it won't be long before dozens of others stop just to see what he is looking at. This curiosity is deeply ingrained in daily habits. So climbing walls, climbing trees, or standing on rooftops to get a better view is not uncommon. In Germany, when dealing with unexploded bombs, authorities have to evacuate up to 16,000 people. In Vietnam, however, despite knowing the dangers, many still cannot suppress their curiosity. In 2018, when authorities recovered a large bomb in Hanoi, hundreds of residents crowded the bridge to watch, point, and take photos. Many even video-called friends from afar to provide live updates. If a bad situation were to arise, the consequences would surely be severe. There was even a case where police were pursuing a particularly dangerous criminal and repeatedly warned the public to stay away. Nevertheless, a couple rode over 1,000 kilometers just to witness the moment the suspect was apprehended. In addition to their curiosity, Vietnamese people are also known for their straightforwardness and openness. They do not hesitate to ask personal questions if they feel it is necessary. For example, asking someone's age, which is often considered sensitive in many Western countries, is quite normal in Vietnam as it helps determine the appropriate way to address someone. The Vietnamese language has not only I and you, but also many other forms of address depending on age and relationship. Using the correct form of address is seen as a sign of respect. Moreover, Vietnamese people may also ask if you have a partner. Don't be too surprised, as this is often just a way to start a conversation or an introduction to someone they know. Whether serious or just playful, this remains a very familiar expression of friendliness in a distinctly Vietnamese way. Number 3. The strangest diplomacy in the world. Vietnam is one of the very few countries in the world capable of maintaining parallel relationships with nations that consider each other as sworn rivals. Simply put, in any region where tensions, conflicts, or confrontations exist, Vietnam still finds a way to maintain stable relations with all parties involved. At the same time, Vietnam is both a comprehensive partner of the United States and has a long-standing traditional relationship with Russia. These two superpowers have been at odds for decades and often stand on opposite sides during global crises. However, in Hanoi, the embassies of both the U.S. and Russia are actively engaged and located not far from each other. Workshops, exchange programs, and cooperation agreements with Vietnam occur regularly, almost becoming a daily routine. Looking at the Middle East, where the conflict between Israel and Palestine has persisted for decades without a resolution, Vietnam has managed to maintain trust from both sides. Since 1988, Vietnam has recognized the state of Palestine and continuously supported the right to self-determination for the Palestinian people at United Nations forums. At the same time, Vietnam collaborates closely with Israel in areas such as high-tech agriculture, defense, and innovation. When hostilities escalate, Vietnam does not choose a side but consistently emphasizes a message of peace. On the Korean Peninsula, Vietnam's role becomes even more significant. South Korea is currently one of Vietnam's most important strategic partners, with major corporations like Samsung and LG investing tens of billions of dollars and creating hundreds of thousands of jobs. Meanwhile, Vietnam maintains a friendly relationship with North Korea, to the extent that Pyongyang chose Vietnam as the venue for the U.S.-North Korea summit in 2019. Moreover, Vietnam has a special relationship with Japan, a country that has historical tensions with South Korea. Japan views Vietnam as a key partner in Southeast Asia, continuously providing ODA for the development of transportation and urban infrastructure. Many metro and major bridge projects in Vietnam today bear the direct imprint of Japanese funding and technology. In South Asia, the relationship between India and Pakistan is always sensitive, with a constant risk of armed conflict. Nevertheless, Vietnam maintains good relations with both. At the recent Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in China, the image of the Vietnamese Prime Minister engaging in friendly conversation with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi attracted considerable attention. Meanwhile, the friendly relations between Vietnam and Pakistan continue to be upheld through trade activities and cultural exchanges. Even in Southeast Asia, Vietnam's diplomatic story is full of surprises. ASEAN was initially established to limit the influence of socialist countries, including Vietnam. However, over time, Vietnam has become one of the leading members of the bloc. Despite past clashes and disagreements with Thailand, Cambodia, or Singapore, all are now partners, sitting together at the negotiation table and coordinating to address common regional issues. Do you find Vietnam's approach to diplomacy quite interesting? If so, please comment with the number 1. Number 4. The traffic matrix in Vietnam. Traffic in Vietnam is truly like a maze that both locals and tourists find stressful every time they step outside. Many Vietnamese people, when visiting Japan or Europe, are often taken aback, wondering how they manage to navigate the traffic back home. In many other countries, traffic laws are quite clear. Green means go, red means stop, and yellow is a signal to prepare to slow down. However, in Vietnam, things are much more flexible. When the light is green, everyone goes. When it's red, some still cross. And yellow is often interpreted as a cue to speed up. It's not uncommon to see someone signaling left but turning right, or signaling right and suddenly veering left. Vietnam is also known as the land of motorbikes. With around 65 million motorbikes on the road, Vietnam ranks among the countries with the highest number of motorbikes in the world. During rush hour in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, the streets are nearly packed with motorbikes. Amidst this sea of two-wheelers, cars, buses, and bicycles jostle for space. Everyone tries to weave through the crowd, and the sound of horns is incessant. Many people honk from quite a distance, even when there are no obstacles ahead, just to signal that they are approaching. Another astonishing sight for tourists is the Vietnamese ability to carry goods. Many refer to it as a form of street art. With just one motorbike, a rider can transport everything from refrigerators and washing machines to furniture, and even a family of 4 or 5. In many countries, such scenes would be strictly prohibited, but in Vietnam, they happen daily and are considered normal. Due to the complex traffic, crossing the street in Vietnam has also become a famous experience on social media. On TikTok, there are countless videos of foreign tourists recounting the thrill of navigating through a relentless stream of vehicles. In reality, crossing the street here is quite simple. You just walk slowly, maintain a steady direction, make eye contact with the drivers, and avoid stopping suddenly. Vehicles will automatically swerve around you. It may sound unbelievable, but this very experience makes crossing the street in Vietnam an unforgettable memory for many tourists. Number 5. The Ninja Women. Can you believe that in Vietnam, many women are likened to ninjas? But not the Japanese kind that quietly hides in the shadows. These ninjas appear all over the streets, especially during the day, and the Vietnamese affectionately call them street ninjas. When you walk the streets of Vietnam, you'll easily spot women who cover almost their entire bodies. They wear multiple layers of sun-protective clothing, long gloves, masks, sunglasses, and wide-brimmed hats, all of which make it nearly impossible to see the faces of the riders. The reason is quite simple. They fear their skin will darken. In Vietnam, especially for women, fair skin is still considered the standard of beauty. Traditionally, tan skin is associated with outdoor labor, while fair skin is viewed as more elegant and luxurious. Additionally, the influence of Korean idol culture has led many Vietnamese women to place even greater importance on maintaining fair skin. Although beauty standards have become more open-minded today, the image of the sun protection ninja remains a familiar part of street life. Interestingly, even when going to the beach, many Vietnamese women do not forget their sun protective clothing. While Western women often enjoy sunbathing for a healthy tan, Vietnamese women seek every way to avoid the sun. It's not uncommon to see women at the beach wearing long-sleeve shirts or using umbrellas for shade even while swimming. Not stopping at ninja fashion, Vietnamese women also surprise many international tourists with another habit, wearing pajamas outside. It may sound hard to believe, but this is quite a common sight. From grandmothers and mothers to young people, many are willing to wear their pajamas at home and then head out to the market, go for a walk, or even sell goods all day long. For Vietnamese people, this is perfectly normal, but for foreigners, it can be quite strange, as in many countries, going out requires dressing appropriately. Despite a fashion style that sometimes surprises others, few can deny that Vietnam is one of the countries with beautiful women in Asia. Just take a stroll around the streets or pedestrian areas in the evening, and you'll see many beautiful girls with various styles, from gentle and cute to trendy or alluring. Notably, they are quite friendly and willing to help when you need it. Many even take the initiative to strike up a conversation to practice their English. If you want to know some tips for getting to know Vietnamese girls, just comment with the number 3. Number 6. The strange cuisine of the Vietnamese. Vietnam has long been referred to as one of the culinary paradises of the world. It is the birthplace of pho, bun bo, hue, and banh mi dishes that have repeatedly been honored in international culinary rankings. Moreover, in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, many street food stalls have even been awarded Michelin stars, a feat not every country can achieve. However, alongside the familiar dishes that captivate the world, Vietnamese cuisine also has a very different, unique side that sometimes leaves travelers both curious and a bit scared. One dish that can easily astonish foreigners is snake. In Vietnam, snake meat is prepared in various ways, such as grilled, stewed, or made into soup. Many believe that snake meat, snake blood, and snake bile all have health benefits. Particularly, there is one dish whose name alone can send shivers down the spine of many tourists. Snake blood mixed with rice wine. A live snake is used to extract fresh blood directly into a clear glass of wine, creating a dark red color. In some places, the beating heart of the snake is also added to the glass to enhance its nutritional value. Vietnamese people believe that finishing this drink will help boost physical strength. But for foreigners, it is clearly a rather unpleasant challenge. If snake isn't shocking enough, then crocodile is the next contender. Crocodile meat is often described as tasting somewhat like chicken and fish, low in fat, and quite easy to eat. In Vietnam, crocodile can be prepared as steak, grilled over charcoal, or cooked in spicy curry. Hedgehog is another specialty that surprises many. Covered in spines, the meat inside is tender and sweet. Hedgehog is typically grilled or stewed with spices, creating a rich flavor. For many families, this dish often appears at parties or special occasions. And it doesn't stop there. In many rural areas, Vietnamese people even eat field rat. Additionally, various insects are served at the table, such as crispy fried grasshoppers, fat larvae, or sour soup made with yellow ants. Each dish has its own unique flavor, and all reflect an interesting fact. Vietnamese people can turn many types of animals into food. Some even joke that if Vietnamese people were to live in Australia for a long time, kangaroos or rabbits would struggle to thrive. Would you dare to try any of these dishes? Let me know in the comments below. Number 7. Strange customs and superstitions of the Vietnamese people. If you think that funerals everywhere are just filled with cries and a heavy atmosphere, then southern Vietnam might surprise you. Here, many funerals are quite lively, even resembling a large gathering. Drums, horns, and music can be heard day and night, and sometimes there are even bands performing right at the funeral. The Vietnamese believe that death is not an end, but a transition to another world. Therefore, bidding farewell to the deceased does not have to be sorrowful. It can be a gentle goodbye, even carrying a positive vibe. This difference often confuses many foreign tourists, with some even mistaking it for a festival rather than a funeral. Additionally, a very familiar custom in Vietnam is the burning of paper offerings. Vietnamese people believe that their loved ones in the afterlife also need money, houses, and belongings to continue their lives. Thus, they create paper items like dollar bills, phones, and clothes to burn as offerings for the deceased. These paper money replicas are made so realistically that many first-time tourists mistakenly think that the Vietnamese are burning real money. There have even been cases where foreign guests, not understanding the situation, accidentally threw real money into the fire, causing panic among those around them. Moreover, Vietnam is a country that places significant importance on spiritual factors, especially numbers. A common example is the number 4, which is often avoided. In Sino-Vietnamese, the number 4 sounds similar to the word for death. As a result, in many hospitals, you will not find rooms numbered 4, 14, or 24. Many foreign tourists visiting for the first time often wonder why there is a jump from room 3 to room 5. In contrast, the number 6 is considered a lucky number. Its pronunciation is close to the word for prosperity, symbolizing wealth. The number 8 is also highly favored because its pronunciation is similar to the word for development, which signifies growth and prosperity. A SIM card with many 8s is often sold at a much higher price than a regular one, simply because people believe it brings good fortune. Lastly, the number 9 is regarded as the highest number in Vietnamese belief. In Sino-Vietnamese, Cu Yu means long-lasting and enduring. Therefore, license plates or phone numbers containing many 9s are often very expensive. Some people are willing to spend hundreds of millions of dong just to own a sequence of all 9s, as a way to showcase their status and desire for longevity. Number 8. The country that has repeatedly defeated the final boss of history. Vietnam is one of the very few countries in the world that has faced off directly against some of the strongest forces in history multiple times. What surprises many is that in all those instances, Vietnam stood firm until the end. In the 13th century, the Mongol Empire was a nightmare for both Asia and Europe, sweeping through numerous countries with virtually no rivals. However, when they entered Vietnam, they suffered 3 consecutive defeats and were forced to withdraw. Many centuries later, it was the turn of the United States, the superpower of the 20th century, which brought hundreds of thousands of soldiers and advanced weaponry. The final outcome was no different. What is remarkable is that these confrontations are not isolated cases. Throughout thousands of years of history, Vietnam has continuously experienced the same familiar scenario: gaining independence, then being invaded, and rising again to reclaim that independence. From the Chinese feudal dynasties to French colonizers, Japanese fascists, and American imperialists, Vietnam's history is intertwined with facing opponents that are much stronger. Notably, despite enduring countless wars, Vietnam has neither been erased nor permanently divided. On the contrary, its territory has remained intact and has gradually expanded southward, forming the shaped country we see today. This is quite rare, as many other nations have lost land, been divided, or even disappeared from the world map. Perhaps it is because of these victories that in many regions around the world, such as Africa and Latin America, Vietnam is held in special regard. Many Vietnamese travelers have recounted that initially, they were mistaken for Chinese and received little warmth. However, once they clarified that they were Vietnamese, the attitude of those they encountered changed immediately. They smiled, nodded, and even offered assistance. Number 9. Interesting festivals in Vietnam. On the night of the 7th day of the first lunar month, in Phu Tho Province, Vietnam, a very special festival called Tro Tram is held. This event attracts a large number of local residents, as well as many curious tourists. In the ancient and solemn atmosphere of the village shrine, a unique ritual is reenacted, directly related to the ancient beliefs surrounding fertility. At midnight, the ritual master opens a red box placed on the altar and takes out 2 wooden symbols representing male and female reproductive organs. These 2 symbols are then handed over to a couple selected beforehand. When the lights in the shrine go out, the ritual master gives the signal, and the couple performs a symbolic act by bringing the 2 symbols together 3 times. If all 3 times match perfectly, the villagers believe it is a good omen, and that year's harvest will be abundant. Once the ritual concludes, the young couples in the village are considered to enter a period of opening their hearts. They are free to seek each other out, express their feelings, and bond if they wish. If, about 9 months and 10 days later, a child is born, that child is regarded as a blessing from heaven, and the entire village will come together to nurture the child. According to the elders, in ancient society, when many romances were forbidden by feudal customs, this festival was a rare opportunity for lovers to be together. For many couples, if they marry after the festival, it is seen as fate that has been predetermined, and no one has the right to interfere. Not only is there Tro Tram, but in the Dong Van Stone Plateau of Ha Giang Province, the Cao Vai Love Market is also held annually on the 27th day of the 3rd lunar month. This is not just a marketplace, but also a meeting point for unfinished romances. Those who once loved but could not live together still have the chance to meet, chat, sing, and hold hands in the acceptance of the community. In fact, many couples go to the market together but then separate upon arrival to find their old flames without any jealousy arising. After the market closes, everyone returns to their own lives and continues to fulfill their responsibilities to their current families. However, today, the Cao Vai Love Market has changed. Meetings between former lovers have become less frequent, replaced by young people and couples attending as a cultural festival. As night falls, the festival truly begins. On the village paths or along the mountainsides, young men play the flute, sing, and dance to impress the young women. From these encounters, many new romances are formed, leading to marriage. Number 10. The 1,000-year-old capital with unexpected surprises. Hanoi is not only the capital of Vietnam with a history spanning over 1,000 years, but it is also regarded as one of the cities in Asia with a unique rhythm of life and cultural identity. Located along the Red River, Hanoi serves as the political, cultural, and educational center of the country, as well as the headquarters for most important agencies, international organizations, and foreign embassies. The name Hanoi is often understood to mean the city within the river or beside the river, stemming from its location surrounded by numerous lakes and rivers. The city officially came into existence in the 11th century when King Lai Tai to move the capital from Hoalu to this area and named it Thang Long, meaning ascending dragon, marking the beginning of a glorious period in its history. Having once been a French colony, Hanoi retains many buildings featuring European architectural styles, such as the St. Joseph's Cathedral and the Hanoi Opera House. Alongside these are significant ancient relics like the Temple of Literature, considered the first university in Vietnam, and the Thang Long Imperial Citadel, the former capital of several dynasties. In addition to its architecture, Hanoi is famous for its dense network of lakes and parks, leading many to humorously refer to it as the City of Lakes and Greenery. Despite the newly constructed wide roads, the old quarter of Hanoi tells a completely different story. The streets here are narrow, winding, and have similar names like Hang Bac, Hang Buom, or Hang Duong, making it easy for newcomers to get lost. The streets are not laid out in a grid pattern like in the West, but instead curve according to the natural historical development. The small alleys and deep nooks with confusing house numbers can sometimes even challenge Google Maps. Another distinctive feature of the Old Quarter is the extremely narrow houses. Some of these homes have a frontage of less than 2 meters. This practice dates back to ancient times when property taxes were calculated based on the width of the front. To reduce taxes, residents built narrow but long and tall houses. This architectural style has gradually become a hallmark and still exists today. Despite their small size, due to their central location, real estate prices here are among the highest in Southeast Asia, averaging around $83,000 per square meter. Finally, Hanoi is often referred to as the city that never sleeps. You can stroll through the streets at midnight and still find shops lit up and locals bustling about. Some tourists have visited Hanoi at 3 a.m. and were amazed to see elderly people exercising around Hoan Kiem Lake, while pho stalls were already steaming to welcome a new day. Number 11. Lesser-known tourist destinations in Vietnam. Ban Giok Waterfall is located in Dam Thu Commune, Trung Con District, Cao Bang Province. It is one of the most prominent waterfalls in Vietnam, situated right on the border between Vietnam and China, and is classified among the largest waterfalls in the world that lie between two countries. The waterfall has a width of about 300 meters and a height of over 30 meters, with multiple tiers of water cascading down into the Quay Sun River. During the rainy season, the abundant water flow causes the entire area around the waterfall to be covered in white froth, creating a very impressive scene. When visiting Ban Giok Waterfall, tourists can experience riding bamboo boats on the Quay Sun River to view the waterfall up close. The boats operate on a fixed route, moving along the foot of the waterfall while ensuring they do not cross the border. This experience allows visitors to truly appreciate the scale and power of the waterfall. In addition to Ban Giok Waterfall, Cao Bang is home to Thung Mountain, located about 4 kilometers from the waterfall. This is a large limestone mountain with a natural circular hole that passes through its body, measuring about 50 meters in diameter. Due to its unique shape, Thung Mountain is often referred to as the gateway to heaven. Currently, this area has not been developed for large-scale tourism, but it is often visited in conjunction with Ban Giok Waterfall on the same trip. Moving southward, Quang Binh in central Vietnam is famous for its system of caves in Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park. In addition to Sun Dong Cave, Quang Binh also boasts An Cave, which is ranked as the third largest cave in the world. The cave stretches over 1.6 kilometers in length, with a ceiling height of up to 100 meters and a width of nearly 200 meters in some places. Inside the cave, there is a wide, sandy area and an underground stream, making it suitable for overnight camping. When light shines into the cave entrance, the interior becomes illuminated, highlighting its distinctive geological structures. An Cave was featured in the Hollywood film Pan in 2015, helping to promote the natural beauty of Quang Binh internationally. Continuing south, Tra Su Melaleuca Forest in Tin Bien District, in Giang Province, is a typical wetland forest of the Mekong Delta. The forest covers an area of about 850 hectares and is most beautiful during the flood season when the water surface is covered with water hyacinths and various aquatic plants. The dense Melaleuca trees create cool pathways. Tourists often travel by small boats or motorized canoes to navigate through the canals and observe water birds such as herons, storks, and ducks. According to statistics, Tra Su is home to over 140 species of flora and fauna, including many rare species. Another highlight is the over 3 kilometers long bamboo bridge, considered the longest bamboo bridge in Vietnam, allowing visitors to walk through the forest and enjoy panoramic views. Nearby, Mount Cam, rising over 700 meters, also known as the Roof of the Southwest, attracts visitors with its cool climate and numerous spiritual sites. Number 12. Nightlife in Vietnam. When the sun sets, a different world comes alive across the cities of Vietnam. The nightlife here is not just about partying, it has gradually formed a unique, vibrant, and colorful night culture. In bustling urban areas like Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, and Nha Trang, bars and clubs are densely packed, ranging from upscale rooftop venues offering panoramic city views to underground spaces rich in artistic flair. The music scene is equally diverse, with some places featuring international DJs spinning lively EDM, while others host small bars with acoustic bands performing live. To truly experience the rhythm of Vietnamese nightlife, night markets are a must-try. Here, you can find a variety of enticing street food and handcrafted souvenirs. Or, more simply, you can sit down at a roadside beer stall, order some familiar snacks, enjoy a cold draft beer, and chat with locals. The sidewalk atmosphere in Vietnam is both welcoming and natural, often serving as the easiest place to meet new friends. When it comes to Vietnamese nightlife, one cannot overlook Bui Vien Walking Street in Ho Chi Minh City. This street is often referred to as the Backpacker Street, where hundreds of bars, beer clubs, live music venues, and spontaneous street performances converge. Bui Vien is almost always awake, filled with the sounds of music, laughter, and the footsteps of young people enjoying life. The atmosphere here is very open and easy to blend into, especially for tourists. Vietnamese women also contribute to the unique charm of the nightlife here, not only with their beauty but also with their intelligence and communication skills, making every conversation feel natural and engaging. If you prefer a quieter atmosphere or want to experience nightlife with a cultural touch, then Hanoi, Hue, and Hoi An are ideal destinations. In Hanoi, you can watch a water puppet show in the evening, a traditional art form that vividly depicts rural life. In Hue, taking a cruise on the Perfume River while listening to Hue folk music in a historic setting offers a uniquely serene experience. Another popular experience is night cruising. Whether it's admiring the illuminated skyline of Ho Chi Minh City from the Saigon River or relaxing amidst the majestic Ha Long Bay, evening cruises always provide a romantic and memorable touch to your journey exploring Vietnam. Number 13. Mysterious places in Vietnam. Chua Chan Mountain is located in Xuan Luc district of Dong Nai province, standing at 837 meters tall, making it the second highest mountain in the south, only after Ba Den Mountain. What makes Chua Chan particularly special is the presence of gigantic boulders precariously perched at an elevation of over 600 meters. The most notable of these is the Ba Chong Rock, which consists of 3 large stones stacked on top of each other, with the topmost stone estimated to weigh hundreds of tons, yet it only makes contact with the stone below at a very small area. According to geological studies, this area has a granite structure, and the long-term natural weathering process may have created such a unique shape. However, for many, the idea that such a heavy rock can remain stable through thousands of years of rain, wind, light tremors, and human impact is hard to believe. Some hypotheses suggest that this is the result of uneven erosion, while others associate this rock with spiritual factors, claiming it is a challenge from nature to humanity. To date, no research has fully explained why these boulders remain almost immobile, and this mystery adds to the allure of Chua Chan Mountain. If one travels further north, Ba Bay Lake in Ba Can Province presents another mystery. This is the largest natural freshwater lake in Vietnam, covering an area of over 500 hectares, nestled among limestone mountain ranges and pristine forests. According to hydrological surveys, the water level of the lake remains nearly stable throughout the year and rarely runs dry, even during prolonged droughts. Local residents explain this phenomenon through a legend about a fairy who saved the villagers from a great flood and transformed the valley into a lake. Meanwhile, scientists believe that the complex system of underground caves and aquifers beneath the lake is what maintains its abundant water supply. However, due to the lack of a complete map of the entire underground system, the question of why Ba Bay Lake never runs dry remains unanswered. Many survey teams have conducted measurements of the depth and underground flow, but results so far have been limited. The intersection of science and legend has made Ba Bay Lake one of the most mysterious destinations in northern Vietnam. Number 14. Extremely low cost of living. When it comes to the cost of living in Vietnam, many foreign travelers are surprised by how affordable it is. Even in major cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, there are plenty of accommodation options available. A bed in a hostel typically costs between $6 to $10 per night. Mid-range hotels range from $20 to $40. For long-term stays, serviced apartments average between $320 to $480 per month. In areas further from the city center or in smaller provinces, these costs can be nearly halved. Food is one of the most satisfying aspects for many people. A bowl of pho, bun cha, or bun bo usually costs around $1.5 to $2.5. Vietnamese banh mi ranges from $0.8 to $1.2, while a popular glass of iced milk coffee is about $1. If dining at restaurants catering to tourists, meal costs typically range from $8 to $16. Many people share that with around $200 a month. They can eat quite comfortably in a local style. Transportation costs are also very reasonable. A single ride on a city bus is about $0.3. Ride-hailing services like Grab or Bee usually charge between $1 to $3 for short distances. If you prefer more independence, you can rent a motorbike for about $50 to $60 per month, with gasoline costing around $1 per liter. Long-distance travel is also not too expensive. A train ticket from Hanoi to Da Nang is about $28, while domestic flight tickets typically range from $40 to $60 if booked in advance. For those staying longer, monthly living expenses are quite manageable. Electricity costs average around $32 to $48 per month if air conditioning is used moderately. Water is much cheaper, usually only $6 to $10. High-speed internet is common and costs about $8 per month, often bundled with television. An unlimited 4G data plan for mobile phones is around $6 per month, sufficient for both work and leisure. With a budget of $600 to $800 per month, an international traveler can live comfortably even in larger cities. If choosing to reside in quieter places like Hoi An, Da Lat, or coastal towns, this spending can be even lower. Number 15. Notes for travelers. One of the first things travelers should pay attention to when arriving in Vietnam is the payment methods. Credit cards or international cards are usually only accepted at hotels, shopping malls, or large restaurants. Meanwhile, most small eateries and street vendors only accept cash. Therefore, it is essential to have Vietnamese currency on hand. Additionally, Vietnamese banknotes come in various denominations that have quite similar colors. For example, both the 500,000 VND and the 20,000 VND notes are green, which can easily confuse many foreigners. There have been cases where someone mistakenly paid with a 500,000 VND note instead of a 20,000 VND note and did not get the change back. By taking a few seconds to carefully check the denomination, you can avoid such unfortunate situations. Another issue that often confuses travelers is public restrooms. In large cities, restrooms in shopping malls or restaurants are generally quite clean. However, when traveling to rural areas or visiting outdoor tourist spots, the quality of restrooms may not always be guaranteed. Many places charge a small fee ranging from 2,000 to 5,000 VND, and sometimes there is no toilet paper available. For travelers who are not accustomed to this, it can be an uncomfortable experience. Bringing your own tissue or pocket wipes can make you much more prepared. When moving around the city, ride-hailing apps like Grab or Bee are safe choices because you know the price in advance. If you must take a traditional taxi, make sure the driver turns on the meter right from the start. In some cases, drivers may not turn on the meter and quote a higher price than usual. A simple tip is to take a picture of the license plate before getting in the car, which often encourages drivers to be more serious about their work. Additionally, prices at traditional markets and small shops are often not displayed. Foreign tourists may be quoted higher than normal prices. When shopping at places like Ben Thanh Market in Ho Chi Minh City or Dong Xuan Market in Hanoi, you should try to offer a price that is about half of what is being asked and then negotiate from there. Don't hesitate, as haggling is a familiar part of the shopping culture in Vietnam. Many people share that after a few rounds of bargaining, they not only bought items at reasonable prices, but also felt quite pleased as if they had just played a little negotiation game. And those are 15 interesting facts about Vietnam. I hope the information shared has helped you view this country from a fresh and different perspective compared to what is usually seen. If you found this video helpful, please hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to continue joining us on our upcoming journeys. Among the 15 facts just mentioned, which one impressed you the most? Please leave a comment below and share your thoughts.